Hello and welcome to another workshop from Malorium Technology. I'm Steve Phillips, your host for today and the designer of the FPGA logic in the Evo M51. Today we're going to go through an updated version of our OpenEvo Quickstart. We did our first version about 6 months ago in August when it was warm and sunny out. Today it's about -5 degrees Fahrenheit here in Madison, Wisconsin, so I'm stuck inside. I thought let's go ahead and make an update to fill you in on what's changed in the methodology. First we're going to do is go through a list of the changes to the methodology that we've made over the last 6 months. Then we'll go through prerequisites for this particular workshop. Then we'll talk about installing the libraries that are needed for the OpenEvo methodology. And then we'll go ahead and build the actual image itself in Quartus and load that image onto the FPGA using our Evo flash load method. So here's a nice detailed list of all the changes that we've made to the methodology. But I'm just going to mention two big ones. The first is that we don't have to use Evo build anymore as our build directory. Now you can just use whatever you call your XB. And that way, if you have multiple XBs you're working on, you can just go into each one and work in them individually without copying things back and forth so that you're always in Evo build. The other big issue that we've changed is the update facility. So now we have an OpenEvo update script that you can run that will update your XB so that it's compatible with the latest version of the BSP. So prerequisites for today's workshop. We're going to assume that you've already gone through the Quickstart guide on our website, which just kind of walks you through the process of getting your board connected to your computer, installing Arduino, getting that working, making sure you can run simple sketches on your board. And then in addition to Arduino, you're going to need the Intel Quartus Lite Edition. This is a free version of Quartus that you can just go to Intel and download. It's free for use, free as in beer, and we recommend version 17.1 because that's what we've been using internally here. And you're also going to need your M51 board and a USB cable. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the Arduino tool and use the library manager to load in two new libraries, the Evo BSP, BSP standing for Board Support Package, and the Evo Build Template, which is our starting point for all XBs that you might want to implement. Once we've got those installed, we're going to go to where they live in your computer. We'll make a copy of that build template and call that whatever we want for our custom XB. In this case, we're going to call it Quickstart XB. And then we're going to go inside of Quickstart XB and launch Quartus by double-clicking on the project file. Once we've got that open in Quartus, we're going to run our update script to see how that works and get our old version of the build template updated to the latest version. And then we're going to compile our design in Quartus. Now this doesn't have any custom logic in it yet, but it's got the whole framework that you need. So it's what I call an empty image, in that all it has is the BSP and it doesn't have any custom logic. But the process is the same once you add your own logic. And then we're going to run the Evo flash load script to load that new image that we just built onto the FPGA. So now that we've talked about what we're going to do, let's go ahead and go do it. So let's bring up our Arduino tool, and we're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Sketch, Include Library, and then Manage Libraries. That's going to bring up eventually the library manager. There we are, which then updates itself. And once that is done, we're going to type Malorium there to kind of reduce the number of things that are being shown. And now you'll see we've got our Evo BSP and our Evo build template. We're going to want to install both of these. I've already got the BSP installed, and for the build template, I've purposely starting from an old version of the build template so that you can see how that update process works. But normally what you would do is just come over here and click on the install button, and that would install that. So you want to do that with both of those, and then you can close that window. Now we can go to our libraries directory, which is on Windows anyway, located at Documents, Arduino Libraries. And you can see I've got both my libraries here. What I want to do is click on that and then copy it and make a new copy of it. There we go. My mouse is not working right. There we go. So now I have my copy. Let's rename that to Quickstart XB. There we go. So now we have a new one that we can customize however we want. Let's go inside of that, and then in the extras directory, and finally the Quartus directory. And here we can see we've got 4 files, including the Evo QPF Quartus project file. And we're going to double click on that to launch Quartus, which will then launch into that we just clicked on. It takes just a minute to load the project. Now we have our project loaded, and we can see the top here. And if we come up here, we can see in the revision box, we've got a revision listed. There's 1 listed. What we're going to do now is go ahead and go to Tools, Tickle Scripts. That'll bring up a new dialog box. And let's make that a little wider so we can see the whole thing here. Now we can see we've got 2 scripts. And we're going to click on the OpenEvo update script and run that. And that's a quick one, done already. We can close that out now. And now you can see we've got a new window open here in our Quartus tool called the Tickle Console. And it says warning, warning, warning. So let's take a look at what that's about. And we can see the message is you've got a new project file that's different from the current project file. So before compiling the design, either restart the Quartus session or close the project and reopen it. This is because if you have a change to the project file during the update process, Quartus doesn't know about that yet. We have to reload that project file before we can use it. So instead of rebooting out of Quartus, we're just going to close the project, and then we can open the project. We're going to find the same file here, but that's an updated version now. And that's going to load into Quartus. A little quicker, I hope. There we go. And we can see the project is loaded, but now we can see we have a different revision listed here. And in fact, we've got 2 different revisions. So we've got the new project file in. So now having run that, we can go ahead and compile it either by going to Processing, Start Compilation, or we can simply click on this shortcut button that looks like a play button. And that's going to start the process of compiling. This is going to run for a few minutes. So while that's happening, I'll just drink my coffee and enjoy the view out of the snowy backyard. So now we've got our image completed. I'm just going to close out this Tickle Console window here. Don't need that at the moment. But now we've got our image generated, and I have my board connected into my laptop. So now we're going to go ahead and run our script. So we're going to go to Tools, Tickle Scripts, and now we're going to select the Evo Flash Load script here. And I'm going to just move this to the side a little bit so it's out of the way. And we're going to click on Run. So you'll notice that popped up the Tickle Console window again, where we'll be able to see status as it goes by. On Windows, it always pops up this command window. We can just move that over so it's out of the way. And then we can watch here in our Tickle Console as things progress. And what's happening in our flash load script at this point is the first thing it does is it goes out and examines all the USB ports on your computer and finds which one is connected to the Evo M51 board. And once it's done that, it's going to load a sketch onto the SAMD on the Evo M51 board so that the computer can talk to the SAMD. And then we'll start transferring data across to the SAMD. And as you can see here, now it's starting to say, finish A page 300. We write things across 128 bytes at a time, which we call an A page. And those are then transferred over to the SAMD, which then transfers them to the FPGA, where we have some custom logic designed to work with that. And that writes it into the permanent storage of the FPGA. It takes 2,944 pages to complete the entire process. So we're just going to watch that as it goes through. And once it's done loading that, it's going to then reboot the board and load a new sketch on what we call Evo Info. And that'll output to our console here some information about the image that we've just loaded. So you can see we're at 1,700, 1,800 of the 2,900. One benefit of having that run that way is that you don't need Quartus to run the script. In fact, you can run the script through the Arduino tool, or you can run it directly from a command line as well on whatever platform you're on. So you don't even need to have Quartus installed on your computer in order to load new Evo images onto your. So now you can see it's now rebooting the board and it's going to load a new sketch on, and we'll see once that completes. Okay, our script is complete. So we can close that. There we go. And you can see we have some output here that shows information about the FPGA image that we've just loaded. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. And that completes our presentation for today. I hope you've enjoyed this workshop, and I hope it's clued you in on the new features that we have. If you have any interest in our products, you can visit us at our website at aloriumtech.com, where you can find information about both the Evo product lines and the Accelerate product lines. We've got all kinds of additional videos available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel that's called Alorium Tech, where you'll find more workshops for both Accelerate and Evo. And as always, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please send them to us using support@aloriumtech as an email address. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workshop, and I hope you're enjoying your Evo N51 board.